From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of evenings, LALATE, with incredible great news over this 1 hour special broadcast about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. In tonight's primetime recording on Evenings LA, we'll go over the incredible great news that a fourth stimulus check has landed in every U.S. state. Yes, you heard me right. A fourth stimulus check has landed in every U.S. state, and last night, viewers showed how good they are at this. Countless viewers in the live chat during last night's Evenings LA had revealed they had applied for one of the many fourth stimulus checks in their state. Tonight, we progress and we look to see whether you're ready to pass on your homework assignment on Monday. Your second fourth stimulus check application. Yes, I want you to show you how to get it. And congratulations to the viewers who've already gotten their second application in overnight. All the latest details on those fourth stimulus checks available in every U.S. state and the incredible success stories that viewers have had this week. Then we turn back to the details coming on Wednesday. The Consumer Price Index is released on Wednesday, and boy, is it going to be a big day. Why? Because it shows you what this inflationary environment's doing. Then we'll be turning back to the Build Back Better Act in this incredible recording as the fourth stimulus gets an additional round of extra checks. Yes, extra checks. The Build Back Better Act would give you $15,000 to $80,000 of checks on top of the fourth stimulus checks that are already in every U.S. state. We'll go over the latest status of the Build Back Better Act in tonight's recording. Then, the economic data that came in last week was horrible. Will it be any worse this week? Bear market, recessionary pressures, inflationary concerns, and looming trouble on the horizon. What does that mean for your stimulus? Good news, because when the economy's stalling up, people want to give you money. We'll have the latest details in tonight's breaking news report of evenings. Then, back to SS300. Jay Powell saying he's raising it a half basis point, that's the interest rates. But what happens after that? We'll look forward and see what's going to happen with that next FOMC meeting, and does it impact your SS300 in a good way or a bad way? Recession's on the horizon, then what about six stimulus? We'll have that in this recording, plus over to student loan debt forgiveness. It's a big night with a lot of information, but the great news tonight is that fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. First, go to the top of the chat and become a member. I want you to become a member of this incredible channel. Tonight, we're going to go over that newsletter and how to apply for a fourth stimulus check and then a second one as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's a special pre-Mother's Day edition of Evenings LA, and it starts right now. And good evening. It's a beautiful night for May 7th, 2022. Happy Mother's Day. One day from now will be the wonderful Mother's Day, but every day is Mother's Day in my book. Hope you're having a beautiful day and wish your mother a big hug. In tonight's recording, we're going to go over that fourth stimulus check that is now in every U.S. state. And over this 1 hour broadcast, we're going to show you how to get your applications in. Last night, big success story for the viewership of the channel, as countless hundreds and hundreds of viewers in the live chat on Evenings LA revealed that they had gotten their fourth stimulus check application in for one check. Tonight, we're going to that second check. And this Monday, your homework assignment's due to pass in proof that you applied for two fourth stimulus checks in just 3 days. I have incredible details of how you do it and how you get the money in today's recording. Over this 1 hour broadcast, America's most watched show for financial news in prime time, we're going to go over those fourth stimulus checks in every U.S. state. So become a member, get that newsletter out, and get ready for the big money coming up later in this video. Stay to the very end. We have a lot of checks, and I have my personal commentary and a new surprise at the end of the video as well. All right, let's start with the Build Back Better Act, which millions of Americans are waiting to get done, which would give you additional checks. Yes, that is additional checks. 3 classes of checks, 3 add-ons of checks. That would pay you $15,000 to $80,000 of checks on top of, in addition to, the fourth stimulus checks that are already in U.S. states. Every U.S. states. Now, in this incredible Build Back Better Act, we have 3 clusters of checks and 3 add-ons of checks. What is the status of those 4 stimulus checks tonight? Let me go over them with you this very moment. The president's approval ratings dropping dramatically in a new CNN poll. It shows a disapproval rating of nearly 70%. You heard me right. And it shows the approval rating of about 30%. Then, when asked how is the issues lining up for the president, the number one issue was the economy, and the number one response was 56% blame the U.S. economy on Joe Biden. Tonight, in my opinion, situations, I blame the economy's problems on a lot of people, but one of them is Jay Powell. He's coming up in just a second. This coming week, we'll have the Consumer Price Index number released on Wednesday. It'll show you whether the inflation numbers are higher or lower. I have a preview of that coming up in a second. But the Build Back Better Act has been back on the front burner at the White House to get done before the midterm elections. Why? Because Americans say the economy is the number one issue. Here is what's unraveling. When before the poll numbers came out, I said that I think that Build Back Better Act will get done with bipartisan support. Why? Because we have the midterm elections, and those midterm elections mean you vote by mail about 90 days ahead of time. And that means if that's the case, then you would want to get a check in people's hands before they vote. That check would land about July. That means the determination about what to do in there would be done by about May. But once that poll came out and showed the disapproval rating much higher than people thought, with more people blaming Joe Biden for the economy than any individual else in the United States, then I had to reassess my position on the situation. Here's what's going on tonight. If you're sitting back and you're wondering Democrat versus Republican, Democrats must pass the Build Back Better Act because they are the party in control. If they get nothing done as the party in control, they're gone. Now, what about Republicans? If the Democrats get the Build Back Better Act passed, and they can then point to Republicans and say, there's a problem with the economy. We got it. We fixed a major thing for it. And Republicans didn't want to help you. And we fixed it across the board. I think then the Republicans would be in big trouble in the midterm elections. Now let's turn to if Build Back Better Act gets no bipartisan support, but falls apart. If the Democrats do it themselves and they don't pass it, they're gone. If the Republicans do it with bipartisan support, then both of the parties are actually in a better position. What is my takeaway tonight? My takeaway tonight is the following, is that if the poll numbers continue to be that bad that they were this week, then Republicans may just say, you know what? We can just roll the dice and hope that Americans blame everything on Joe Biden. They're not going to blame us. We didn't give them the economy, says the poll numbers. Joe Biden did. Let's just not support Build Back Better. And that seems to be potentially the pivot across the board. Why did the situation become so pronounced this week? This last week, we had seen the announcement we had been waiting for 3 months. And there was no surprise. The announcement was exactly as we had said it would be. What was that announcement? It was the FOMC meeting of the Federal Reserve in May. We were told back in February by Jay Powell, its chair, that the May FOMC meeting would be a half basis point increase. No surprise. That's the way the Federal Reserve works. They want to tell you ahead of time so they do not create instability, volatility, shock, or horror on Wall Street. And what happened on Wednesday? They created all of that. They created all of that. Did they announce something different? They did not. They announced a half basis point, which is what we expected. They expected that the announcement would just cause Wall Street to just be sort of bored for the rest of the day. Oh no. Wall Street crashed really badly the next day. Continued to crash the day after, and this coming week will be crashing again. Why did this happen? And this is so important for Build Back Better Act. It's so important for your SS300. It's so important for forced stimulus and more. It crashed because Wall Street was already unstable before the Wednesday announcement. Why? Corporate earnings were getting hit very badly because of supply chain disruption. And here we go. Those 2 words, supply chain. What does it mean? Can't get the products from where they're made to you. Why is there supply chain disruption still in 2022? 1, coming out of COVID. We still have problems with the truckers and the shippers and the ports. Number 2, the invasion of Ukraine caused by Vladimir Putin. That's causing major supply chain disruption. Can't get the products out of that area. And the embargo is causing shortage of those products as well. But the biggest one, the biggest of the three, is this one. It's brand new, less than 30 days old. It is the supply chain disruption out of China. Chinese factories are on lockdown. Chinese shippers are on lockdown. Why? Subvariant of Omicron. And that is what happened not this last week, but the week before, when Apple said, you know what, we didn't have a very good first quarter, but we're going to have a horrible third quarter later this year, because we cannot get the component parts into our Apple iPhones. They're coming out of China. In our factories, we can't, but to get them in there. Then the data kept on coming in, Apple, and then Facebook. Numbers after numbers. Guess what happened? Wall Street started to realize, wait a second, this is all supply chain disruption. And supply chain disruption needs some type of economic relief. If it doesn't get it, then we're in big trouble. And that's why when Jay Powell announced half basis point, they said, oh, that's just too much to deal with. What is Jay Powell going to give you with that half basis point? What he's going to give you is higher interest rates, which means higher car payments, higher home mortgage, flexible mortgage rates, surging out to 5%. The 30-year fixed, the 10-year Treasury notes surging to 313, the highest level we've seen in a long time. And everything's going to still have inflation because supply chain disruption is still with us. What does this mean for your money? It's good, number one, for Build Back Better Act. It's good, number two, for SS300. Let me show you why. The economy is very bad at the moment, folks, but it's not as bad as it's going to be later this year. It's going to be horrific. And for the first time, I can really say, I think that most Americans understand that now this weekend. They may not have understood it last month or last week, but they really are starting to grasp it right now. When the economy is bad, people want to give you stimulus. That is why it's good for Build Back Better Act. If the economy was good, then Democrats may say, hey, it's just a little too good. Now, let's go over two parts of that equation. There will be some quotes that will say, but you don't spend money as a federal government because that'll cause inflation. Nope. The federal government spending money does not cause inflation, and that is incorrect. The federal government spending money does not impact inflation. What it does impact is an improvement in GDP and an improvement against recession. Let me explain why. The U.S. economy has something called GDP. In fact, every economy has it. It's called the gross national product. In a recession, the number is negative. In a non-recession, the number is positive. Well, it was supposed to be 7.1% last month. Then it went to 6.9% that month, missed guidance, and now it's shrinking to about 4%. I'm saying it's going to about 0% by the end of the year, and then negative in January of next year. Deutsche Bank says 2 years of recession. I'm saying 2 years of recession. That means a negative number. The way you prevent a recession is you keep people spending. You keep businesses running. You keep growth positive. Pretty simple. And that's why Build Back Better Act gets that support. It gets that support because when you spend, it helps keep the economy away from recession. Now, what about the provisions of Build Back Better Act? Negotiations are currently underway between Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, and the president of the White House. That is great news. Those negotiations are going swiftly, but they got to get done by about May. Why? Because they got to get those checks out. They got to get those checks out before you vote. The provisions in there seem unchanged, and the support for them seems unchanged as well. But when we turn to that SS300, this is where it gets interesting. Joe Biden, when running for the president of the United States, and then as president-elect at joebiden.com, said he's going to swap your COLA for inflation. COLA is your current benchmark for your benefits. Every December, they look at COLA and they assess whether your benefits should go up. If COLA is a positive number, the number goes up. Well, COLA came in at 5% last December. Good? No, you got cheated. You got cheated because inflation was 8%. You should have been getting inflation, not COLA. You got 5% instead of 8%. Now, the good news right today is that if Joe Biden made that swap from COLA to inflation right today, you'd lock in $200 more per month. How does this work? When you swap COLA for inflation, you lock inflation in. I was the only person that I know in the United States who had the projections on inflation right for over a year. I said in spring of last year, we're going to 8% by December, and we're going to stay high and not going to come down for a long time. Jay Powell, Wall Street, they all said the same thing. 2, 3%, 1 month, transitory. I said, I'm not buying it. It ain't going to be temporary. It's going to be prolonged. Well, I was right. 8% inflation in December, 8% in January, 8% in February, 8% plus, a little bit higher, 9% almost, in April. And what happens this coming Wednesday? You heard me right. The Consumer Price Index number is released this Wednesday, the CPI. That'll give us a guidance of what inflation is. And my projection is it's going to be still around 8%. It may be 7.9, it may be 7.8, but that is good news for your SS300. Because if Joe Biden makes that swap from COLA to inflation tonight, then you'd lock in $200 more per month. What happens then by December? Well, here is where it's getting quite interesting. 2 months ago, Jay Powell said he's going to get inflation down to 1.9% by December. I said, no, you're not. It's going to be 4%, and that's going to be another $100 for our beneficiaries. In the last 7 days, Wall Street has come out very vigorously and said there is no way Jay Powell's going to get inflation down to 1.9% by the end of the year. Not happening. Bear market now, recession are growing, and they're now saying actually stagflation. They're saying prolonged inflation at the current levels plus recession. Good news for you. Good news for you, because if inflation is still high, then you'd lock in another lift in December. How much of a lift? If it's 4%, you'd lock in another $100. That's SS300. So what does Joe need to do? Make the call, Joe. Hashtag Joe, make the call. Pick up the phone and call that Social Security Administrator head. Swap that COLA for inflation right tonight. Jay Powell gave us guidance for the month of May, and he did, half basis point. Did he give his guidance for June? He did not. Did he give his guidance for July? He did not. What is my projections? Jay Powell's going to do 2 more half basis points at the next 2 months of FOMC meetings. And after that, I can't project out. I really can't project it out. But I don't think it's going to work. Why? And here is where the real calamity of 2023 is out to sea, and you're standing on the beach looking out and recognizing a storm is on the horizon. I was telling you, 3 months ago, that none of the tools in Jay Powell's toolbox work to get down inflation. The current inflation right now is caused by supply chain disruption. And Jay Powell has nothing in his toolbox to get down supply chain disruption caused inflation. If that's the case, what's going to happen? He's going to give you higher interest rates, and you're still going to have inflation. And that is actually why Wall Street was very tipsy-turvy this week, because now more people are understanding that. They now heard the word stagflation over and over again, which means recession and inflation. Meaning we ain't going to solve inflation. It's still going to be around. And then we're going to have recessionary pressures on top of that as well. Well, folks, that's all good news for Build Back Better Act, number 1, and also it's good news for SS300. Making that swap from COLA to inflation right now, we'd lock in $200 more per month, and then $100 on top of that thereafter. Now, amidst all that horror, I mean, it's more horrible than, walking into San Francisco hairstyle, seeing the stylist wear lobster shorts. And then, you're about to get your hair washed and someone goes moo in your ear and you're like, what is that? It's a talking cat. Is there anything more worse than that? Yeah, 2023's economy. That's the only thing that's worse than that. But the great news is that you and I are together and the fourth stimulus check is available in every U.S. state. Thank goodness. A fourth stimulus check is now available in every U.S. state. And over this broadcast, I'm going to show you how to get that fourth stimulus check now in every U.S. state. This is huge because we don't have to wait for any of that stuff I just went over. We can get a check right tonight. And I'm going to show you how to get that fourth stimulus check now in every U.S. state in just a second. But first, go to the top of the channel and become a member. Get a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP membership. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. And you will pounce and get one of those incredible checks. How do you get those checks? They're coming up after the commercial break. The week ended tumultuously, but it's far from over. Next week, I think, is actually going to be worse. Here we go. The S&P shredded 1.2% on Friday. The Nasdaq fell 1.7%. The Dow is down 345 points. The day before that, 1,000 points. The Dow ended its 6-week down. Lord, what a bear market. And the NASDAQ was down another week, the longest down trend for the NASDAQ since 2012. Many stocks like Amazon and Apple are trading at 52-week lows, meaning they're down for the year. They're almost down for the year and a half. And technology stocks continue to plummet dramatically on Friday. Under Armour lost 22% of its value on one day, on Friday. Why? Because it says it cannot get the products in third quarter this year. Supply chain disruptions really an issue. And rival Nike took a hit, even though it did not have that projection. That's how the situation is growing dramatically. The labor numbers were in, and they were good as to be expected. They showed we generated more jobs, and people took more jobs, but it still showed over about 1 million jobs, 1 million Americans still not back to work at pre-pandemic levels. What are they doing? It's really not clear. The salaries rose to about a $31.85 an hour average, about a 0.3% growth in the month of April, according to the Department of Labor's number on Friday. That's good. And it showed a modest reduction on some other numbers, but it showed the participation rate a little bit better, but still we are down from pre-pandemic levels. We're about 2% down from those pre-pandemic levels, and there was also another survey that said production level is really bad. It means they show up to work and they don't work. Now, Paul Jr. Jones, who's a longtime billionaire hedge fund manager, says, I can't think of a worse environment than right now for financial assets. And this is a very difficult period of time for capital that you must have capital preservation. Capital preservation means saving your money. What also happened this week is that the indications from Wall Street of what's to come were even worse. The consumer price index number is coming out on Wednesday, and that will give us a guidance on what's happening with inflation. But I don't think you need to wait that far, because if you look at the 10-year Treasury yield, it surged above 3% on Thursday and went even higher. It's now at the highest levels of 2018. What does that mean? They think it's going to come in higher inflation. We've done this over the last 3 months. Every time the bond market trades up higher, they projecting higher or the same level of inflation, and then it comes in exactly as they projected. They're usually very accurate, those bond traders. We're also looking at a 50 basis point increase for the next two FOMC meetings. Okay, that's what I said. Says Seth Rubenstein on Broadcast News on Thursday. But I don't think that tightening is going to slow down the economy. I disagree with you. Sorry, I disagree with you. It is going to tighten the U.S. economy. What's at issue is that the housing starts are down 4 consecutive months. Auto sales were down for 2 or 3 months already this year. That's new car sales. And guess what happened on Friday? Used car sales plummeted at their worst rate in a very, very long time. Those two industries, in my opinion, are already in recession. My projection, along with Deutsche Bank, is that the U.S. economy will be in full recession by 2023, and then be in there for a year thereafter. It's a 2-year recession. Now, what Wall Street, middle America, mom and pop started to see on Friday is there something going wrong with this economy. Everyone's getting it. Everyone's understanding there's something wrong with the economy. More people understand better than other people. But let me tell you what's wrong with the economy right now. What's wrong with the economy is that inflation remains high and it's not going to come down. Jay Powell is saying he can get it down. He can't. He's giving you higher interest rates, which is not going to get down inflation. And that you're going to slow down this economy by doing what Jay Powell's doing. He's going to mess up this economy. It's going to be Jay Powell's fault. He's going to raise and raise and raise those interest rates, and the economy is going to slow and slow and slow until we're in recession. Yeah, it's going to be his fault, and it's going to be on his watch. And guess what? It's happened many times historically. The Federal Reserve has never solved inflation by raising interest rates, and yet they keep on doing it. What is also going to happen this week? I believe that you're going to, now that you have that FOMC meeting done, you're going to see that talking of Fed governors coming out again. There'll be a Bullard or a Daly that says, yeah, I think we need to do something more aggressive. I think we need to do something more aggressive. And everyone's going to start to roll their eyes now and say, you know what? I don't think it's working. If that consumer price index number comes in on Wednesday at a high inflationary number, I bet that a lot more people are going to say, wait a second. LATE had it right. Jay Powell's not reducing inflation. He is not doing anything but hurting the economy, slowing growth, causing a shrinkage of GDP, and heading into recession. Yes, the labor market's good, but for purposes of Build Back Better Act, for purposes of your SS300, it helps, but for purposes of your your economy, it hurts dramatically. The good news is that a fourth stimulus check is now in every U.S. state. And with that, let's turn to the great news that you and I have done together as a team. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Last Monday, we started the course on this channel, LALATE 101. In LALATE 101, the introductory course, I asked you to repeat the following sentence, which you see on screen, to graduate from that class. All you have to do is repeat this expression on screen, repeat the expression you see on screen at home, or write it in the live chat right now. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Write it in the live chat right now. A fourth stimulus check is now in every U.S. state. If you do that and write it in the live chat, you have passed LALATE 101. If I'm in the live chat with you, I will tag you and say, congratulations, you have graduated from LALATE 101. That was last Monday. Then on Tuesday, I took you to LALATE 202. In LALATE 202, I asked you, can you remember which checks are in every U.S. state? Which fourth stimulus checks are in every U.S. state? And most of you initially graduated. Some of you got stalled up, tripped up just a little bit. You were a little too anxious. And then when you reassessed your answer, you changed your answer just a little bit, and then you graduated. Which fourth stimulus checks are in every U.S. states? They are letters. They are letters. And can you remember what they are? The ones that are law in every, I'll give you a hint, in every U.S. state. Jump in the live chat right now and write those letters of those checks. If you can, I'm going to graduate from you from LALATE 202 as well. If you're new to this channel, new to finding these videos, this is what we did Monday and Tuesday this last week. Then, on Wednesday, I said I'm going to give you to the day after Cinco de Mayo, which of course is 6 de Mayo. I'm going to give you to the 6th of May to do your homework for LALATE 303. What was the homework assignment for LALATE 303 last night? The homework assignment for LALATE 303 last night was to apply for one of the fourth stimulus checks in your state. And what happened last night? I'll give you a rundown of what happened last night. Oh, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I don't think I've been so proud of the viewership of this channel in a very long time. I'll go over what happened with those graduates. Yeah, there were a lot of them. Of LALATE 303 last night. I'll go over them with you after the commercial break. Plus, I'll go over whether your answer was correct for LALATE 202. Then, last night, right after people graduated from LALATE 303, I started giving out homework assignments for LALATE 404. The homework assignments are due a little bit further out because of the weekend. It's due this coming Monday. And what's your homework assignment? Get ready. If you just found this channel, I'm going to get you caught up. You could possibly graduate from all those 3 classes just tonight and get caught up with the rest of the class. Oh, we're going to have a great recording tonight. It's all coming up in the second half. Remember, in that commercial break, I want you to become a member. If you've not become a member, go to the top of the chat and become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Hit the join button and then get the incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. Which fourth stimulus checks are now in every U.S. state? Write the checks names in the live chat, and I'll see who has the right answer right after the commercial break. Coming up is a lot more money, plus is breaking details on more checks in the final minutes of the video. Stay at the very end, and I got a new opinion about something major across the board. Oh boy, it's exciting. It's a big evening of Evenings LALATE, America's most watched show for financial news in prime time. We're just getting started. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as this special pre-Mother's Day edition continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more.
Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues on a beautiful night across the board for May 7th, 2022. It's Evenings LALATE, America's most watched show for financial news in prime time. This special pre-Mother's Day edition. I'm so excited you have joined me, and boy, what a night it is. We're going to go over what happened in graduation ceremonies last night for LA 303, and we're going to get ready for LA 404 tonight as well. What a big night. Let's go over the incredible details starting right now. Hopefully during the commercial break, you became a member. If you didn't, do it right now. Go to the top of the chat and the pinned comment and become a member. That incredible membership link is there. You want to become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. What did we learn this week? Well, on Monday, I asked for viewers to get ready to graduate from the first class. The first class, LALATE 101. All you had to do to graduate from LALATE 101 is write in the live chat this expression. A four stimulus check is now in every U.S. state. Do it right now. If you're new to this channel and you just found me tonight or today, write in the live chat. If I'm there, I will tag you and say, congratulations, you have graduated from LALATE 101. A four stimulus check is now live in every U.S. state. Congratulations, you have graduated from LALATE 101. That was Monday. On Tuesday, I asked viewers, can you now remember, after I taught them, which four stimulus checks are in every U.S. state? During that commercial break, I asked you to write on the live chat which four stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. Did you get it right? You did. I saw you. Good job. There are 3 of them. The four stimulus checks live in every U.S. states are Check A, Check B, and Check C. If you said Check D, you got it wrong because Check D is not in every U.S. state. So congratulations to the incredible viewers who graduated from LA 202 on Tuesday, and to those that got it right again during the commercial break. What are Check A, B, and C? We're going to go over them in 1 second. In LA 303, this is where it got very interesting. In LA 303 on Thursday, I gave viewers an assignment on Cinco de Mayo. I said, I am giving you a homework assignment. Within 24 hours, by Sexta de Mayo, you are to apply for one of the four stimulus checks. I gave viewers a 24-hour turnaround time to do their homework assignment, to go out and apply for one of the four stimulus checks. You don't have to get the money in 24 hours. You just have to apply. And I got to tell you, I have never been so proud of the viewership of this channel. I have never been so proud of you. If you had watched last night's Evenings LALATE for May 6th, you would have been blown away. Viewer after viewer in the live chat revealed, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, that they had overnight just done their homework as so assigned and had gotten their applications in for one of those checks. Imagine how many people as a team, as a family, felt so wonderful together. I'll have more about that incredible moment in just a second. But if you just found this channel, I'm going to show you how to graduate from LA 303 like them right as well. Let's go over the details. The homework assignment to graduate from LA 303 was very simple. Go out and apply for one of the 3 checks that are in every U.S. state. And what are they? Check A, Check B, or Check C. So you had a choice of which check to apply for. How do you apply for it? I teach you on this channel. And let me go over again right now how you apply for Check A or B or C. Pull out that membership newsletter and put it in front of you right now. To apply for Check A, this is what you do. First, let's go over Check A. It's a $6,500 to $12,000 four stimulus check in every U.S. state. Income qualification, single individual, 75,000 or less. Married couple, 150,000 or less. And if you're on benefits like Social Security, SSI, SSDI, Veterans Benefits, you can get it. It's called the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. How do you get it? The way you get it is, 1, you go into that membership newsletter. 2, you go down to Check A in the membership newsletter. Then you click the link to apply for Check A that is in the membership newsletter. So simple. And it routes you to the national website, then choose your state, like Tennessee, then choose the Weatherizing Grant Check in Tennessee, and apply. If you applied for a fourth stimulus check for Check A this week, and you're in the live chat, write Check A right now. And last night, a lot of viewers, I think it was about 50 of them, had revealed they had applied for Check A as their homework assignment for a fourth stimulus check. And they graduated from LA 303. Just great. Let's go to the people who graduated from LA 303 by doing instead Check B. It was about 60 people last night. And what happened? First, let's go over what Check B is. It's a $15,000 to $80,000 fourth stimulus check. It's available in every U.S. state. Income qualification, single individual, $75,000 or less, you can get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you can get it. And this is the homeowner's grant check. How do you get Check B? So simple. You go into the membership newsletter. Go down to Check B. Then at Check B, you see a link, a different website than Check A. This is Check B. You click the link and you go into a nationwide map that looks like this. This is the federal government's website. Then on the map, you choose your state like Arkansas. Click the state and go in and apply. Put your name and address in, press submit, and you're done. That is Check B. And last night, between Check A and Check B, I think there was about 200, 250 people who graduated by doing Check A or Check B. If you have applied for Check B as your homework assignment this week, write in the live chat right now, Check B. These two things are so simple. All you're doing is taking your finger, applying for a membership, push, done. Then you're opening the newsletter. You're going down, scrolling the finger down to Check A. There it is. There's the application. Push. Then it goes to the website for the application. Oh. Type my name in, my phone number, not mine, yours, and then push enter. Done. How hard is that? The finger is very friendly, especially if someone makes you very annoyed. So there you go. That is how you submit for Check A or Check B. If you submit for Check B as your homework assignment overnight, congratulations. I will say it again in the live chat, and I will re-graduate you one more time from LA 303. Now, let's go to Check C. Check C is so simple, folks. If you did Check C as your homework assignment overnight, and then jump in the live chat right now and write Check C. Let's go over how to apply for fourth stimulus checks of Check C in every U.S. state. This, again, is also very simple. Where do you start? You bet you know the answer. You start in the membership newsletter. You go down to Check C in the membership newsletter, which is paying out about $2,000 a month over 12 months. This is for renters and homeowners and more. First, let's go over where you get the application. You go down to the membership newsletter. You go to Check C. When you get to Check C, it is not, I'll say that again, it is not an online application. It is rather calling on your phone. So simple. In the membership newsletter at Check C, I tell you who to call on your phone. I tell you what to say on your phone, and I tell you how to do it on your phone. My goodness, do I dial the phone for you as well? It's just so simple. You're going to contact your city hall, your city house authority, your county your county house authority, your state hall, your state house authority, and 6 nonprofits. I don't need to slow that down because it's all the membership newsletter. And what do you say? It's also in the membership newsletter. City, you can say rent assistance because of COVID, utility assistance because of COVID, mortgage assistance because of COVID. This is for my renters especially. If you applied for a Check C overnight, oh, not this night, the night before that, and you got it in for your homework assignment for LA 303, then post in the live chat. And wow, you're just doing a great job. I'm going to tag you and graduate you from LA 303 as well. And there you go. That is what happened on Friday in LATE's primetime broadcast for May 6, 2022. Now, let me tell you what happened if you were not one of the hundreds and hundreds of people, almost 1,000 people in the live chat on Friday. It was just awe-inspiring. It sort of moved your soul. It just sort of lit up your eyes. Why? Because I'm in the live chat. I said, who did the homework assignment for check A? Tons and tons and hundreds of people suddenly said, I did A, I got my A in overnight. Wow. I said, who did check B? Who got check B application in with their state overnight? B. My goodness. Then I said, who got a C in overnight for forced stimulus check in their state? C. It was overwhelming. It was just such a warming feeling. And I got to tell you, I could feel from the viewers what they were feeling because they were all part of a group, a family, a class, and they had all done their homework in a 24-hour turnaround time. They did not mess around. They all got their applications in, and they all felt so good for one another, applauding one another. And I think we were overwhelmed. There were so many of you who had gotten so many applications in for a forced stimulus check at the same time. Why did I make that turnaround time 24 hours? You know why. The money is not going to be there indefinitely. It's first come, first serve. So I want people to get those applications in very quickly. Now, I'll go over more about what happened in that live chat in just a second. Last night on Friday, I also then said, okay, now that you've graduated from LA 303, I'm going to give you a homework assignment for LA 404. By this coming Monday, I need you to do the following homework assignment. And what is it? I need you to go apply for your second check of those forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Yes, I want you to go get a second application on file. So if you did check A before, go do check B. If you did check B, go get check A. If you did C for the gas bill, go do C for the electric bill. If you did rent with your county, then go do rent with your nonprofit. Yes, you can get you can get the same item from two different places. Absolutely. So that is your homework assignment. If you just found this channel tonight, welcome. You just became a member, welcome. I need you to get that application in for that second check by Monday. Now, if you become a member over the weekend, which I'm sure you will, there's hundreds of probably new members this weekend as well, I'll give you an extra day because I know you're not going to get the membership newsletter until Monday at 7 p.m. So I'll give you to Tuesday or Wednesday to get your first and your second applications together in and get caught up. Now, let's go over what also happened last night's chat. Boy, first, during last night's chat, we saw some wonderful viewers like Carol, wonderful viewers like, I think her name was Tiffany, who said, you know what? I've gotten applications in for 3 of them already. Whoa! They just zoomed ahead. I haven't even taught how to do 3 applications yet. They got 3 applications in. I had viewers who, of course, you and I know, because I've been talking about them since March, have already gotten their applications in and have already gotten paid. Just incredible. That is, I think it's LA 505. Yeah, they've actually gotten their applications in and they've gotten paid for multiple checks. That's where we're heading for the rest of you as a family. So for any of you who've gotten paid, please always stay in the live chats because you inspire other people. You are ahead of everyone else at the time being, but we're all getting caught up to you and you're just so inspirational. Now, let's go over to the incredible details of student loan debt forgiveness. I'll be coming back to more to these checks in just a second with some surprising details and some breaking news. Now, student loan debt forgiveness. This next week, we're going to see what's going on with that student loan debt forgiveness. Many insiders say that Joe Biden's going to make the determination on student loan debt forgiveness finally in the month of May. He's not going to wait to September. And what has he done so far? He's forgiven student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation. People went to work in the nonprofit sector, public sector, and then for debt that was procured by fraud by the university against the student, he has forgiven the debt completely. He has taken debts that were in default and put them in good standing. And then for everyone else's debts, he said, I'm going to roll it over to September. I don't think he's going to wait to September. I think he's going to make the determination and go with it. He's not going to do $50,000 of student loan debts. But here's again, this is one of those moments that you have to say, hey, don't you wish you were a staffer or part of the Economic Council in Joe Biden's White House. And you just want to say to him, Joe, there's certain times that you should just be doing things. And if you don't do the thing, then the bad poll ratings is all your fault. When it comes to student loan debt forgiveness, this is all 100% his fault. It's 100% his fault, and it's his fault to blame. He came into office and he said he's going to forgive some student loan debts. He never said he was going to do 50,000. Let's be frank. He never said 50,000, but he said he was going to forgive some. He has forgiven some, but he was going to forgive the whole group of everyone by a certain amount. He then said, I don't know if I can. That was untrue. We all know that was untrue because he passed the laws under Obama Biden. In fact, John King, his education secretary at the time, said, Joe knows he can forgive student loan debts. So then he said, I'm assigning Miguel Cardona to take a look at this. And he did. And then Cardona didn't report back. Now, we did have this progress. It was really good. And then Cardona seemed to do some things. The narrative is that it looks messy. It just looks messy. Joe's doing this good, but it looks messy rather than just forgive it and move on and do the next issue we have to deal with in this country. Rather, this one's sort of dragging on. I'm not considering doing $50,000 in debt reduction. Really sort of tough and almost nasty when he said that 2 Fridays ago. How about saying what you are going to do instead of saying what you're not going to do? It just doesn't, it looks like a grouchy man. It doesn't look good. He said he would not then tell you what number. Well, when are you going to do the number? Let's go over the next quote. But I'm in the process of taking a hard, good look at whether we should give more forgiveness. Okay, that is where any bad poll numbers is his fault because you've had over a year to look at the situation and determine this is like someone that just sort of stalls at every event. This is sort of like a Mitch McConnell. I'll just get to it in a few months. No. Now, if you have student loan debt forgiveness from this channel, congratulations. Like Chef John Meyer, a lot of viewers have gotten $6,000 to $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness from this channel. If you're new to this channel, I want you to, and you have debts, student loan debts, federal, I want you to write down these words. Cardona has done some good stuff in the last few days. He's been basically doing what King had said in the Obama administration. Look at the statute and see if we can modify the statute to forgive some more debts. I want you to write down these words. IDR credit. And then write down public service loan, then forgiveness, and then write down income-based repayment process. What he is doing is he's trying to modify some of the statutes to get your loans forgiven. Thank goodness for him. We have an ongoing rulemaking, and I'll take a look at what types of statutes should qualify for IDR credit, and then maybe potentials to improve the process going forward. Then we're trying to do more forgiveness under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and then several other borrowers under the income-based repayment programs. Go to the Department of Education, go under the press releases, read every press release from Cardona in the last 2 months, and continue to read them. I'm no expert when it comes to student loan debt forgiveness, but I got to tell you, the information, the news is coming right in that location. When we look at 6 stimulus, boy, this is interesting. So we had a not good, a horrible announcement by the Bank of England this week. And the announcement was sort of buried because we had so much coming in from Jay Powell. The Bank of England is a very important announcement. Why? If you're going to look at other economies, Bank of England and the United States and England, those are really sort of the 2 similar economies. If they go in recession, we go in recession. We go in recession, they go in recession. What are they saying? We're maybe heading into recession. They didn't use the R word, but they said the GDP in England is shrinking very quickly, out of control. The British pound sterling on Thursday had its lowest, most significant daily drop since the start of the pandemic. Then, the Bank of England's Governor Andrew Bailey said, we're walking on this very narrow path right now. The approximate reason for raising rates is that the rate of inflation, which now is very strong, has risks as well. And they think, oh, you ready for this one? Their inflation in England will go to 10% by the end of the year. They think it's getting worse. And then they say there's a very, very sharp slowdown of their growth happening right now. Wow. That is strong. Which is why you want to get every 4 stimulus check that is available in every U.S. state. What we're learning this week, last week, and what you're going to see this new week is that your knowledge is now being matched by other Americans. For over 3 months, I've been telling you that this U.S. economy will go into recession starting next year. I said that the slowdown will start this summer, that the slowdown will be very obvious by the fall. And I said, I need you to hoard every pot of money that you can hoard and keep it in your wallet. Those comments by Tudor Jones are very important. He says, we have never seen something like what we're about to experience. It's going to be hard to make money, and you got to save, save, save. So I said, the importance of getting those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. states is so important. What's different now, this last week and this coming week, is now more Americans are understanding there's a problem in this economy. And more of them are understanding that a recession is possible. I remember telling someone, I think it was in March, that we're going to recession next year. I thought the person was going to fall over when I told the person. Now, if you have that conversation with someone, they're like, yeah, I think so as well. More people understand that is what the storm looks like out to sea as you stand on the curb of the edge of the water. Let me go over that bear market and why it's so bad for you. Stocks are going to be down. Bonds are going to be down. Housing starts going to be down. Auto sales are going to be down. It's going to be hard to be profitable as a company. And then what you're going to start to see, and we've already seen news about this, less jobs will be coming. There'll be less job creation in a recession because the employers will be making less money. And your ability to afford to live will be harder by the day. Gasoline will stay up. Oil and wheat will stay up. That is why it's important to get every 4 stimulus check you can across the board. Let me go over something that it's important to go over of what I also saw last night in the overnight in the Evening to LA broadcast. In that evening night's broadcast, I had asked viewers, did you do your homework assignment for LA 303? And they said yes. And I started graduating people. Graduated them from check A, graduated them from check B, and then graduated them from check C. Then I said, let me give you a homework assignment for LA 404, doing that second show. Viewers at that point, they're all in the live chat, were just so happy for one another. It was just such an exceptional, wonderful, warming spirit that all these people had gotten their applications in 24-hour time for their first 4 stimulus check, and everyone was just so proud of each other. And then came this. About 3 people jumped into the live chat, and one said, can someone help me give me a check for me? And then another person said, can someone go get a check for me? Can you do it for me? And at that point, by the time the third person said it, the viewers who had done their homework assignment in a 24-hour period and gotten their 4 stimulus check by watching the videos and opening the membership newsletter and studying and learning, really were not happy with those 3 viewers. And I was loving it. They were really upset with those 3 viewers. They said, listen here, we were given a homework assignment. We learned how to do this. We watched the videos. We took notes. We opened the newsletter. We took our time. We studied. We went home and we did the work, and you're coming in and you wanted me to do your homework for you? We're not doing your homework for you. Don't you love it? I love it. We're not here to do your homework for you. We're not here to do your applications for you. We're not here to push your finger 3 times on a website and submit and get you $60,000 with our fingers. Your finger can go get that $60,000 for you. Viewers on the live chat, when you achieve these things, you feel such a warmth. What's important to know is that viewers in the live chat are every type of viewer. People on SSI, SSDI, veterans, seniors, young, old, all walks of life, educated, uneducated. They all got their homework done. They got their homework applications in. And 3 people jumped in there and said, can you go do it for me? And then I'm going to go to the park while you do this work for me, my homework for me. And then I just put my name on it. So you can forge my signature. I'm just saying, they didn't say that. But that was basically what it looked like. No, you got to do it yourself. You got to do it yourself. And I applaud the people who got their homework in. And I applaud the viewers who got their homework in and said to the people who had not gotten the homework in that wanted them to do the homework for them, do someone else's homework for them. I applaud your response to those people. Those people need to wake up. They need to wake up very quickly. I don't care what you are, who you are. You can do this. This is very simple. It's pushing your finger 3 times. And for you to come to the live chat and tell other people to do work for you is just really, come on already. All right, now, last one example was just one person, and I thought it was sort of funny, but I also have to use the example as a teaching experience. You know, Evenings LA is at 5 o'clock. Then we have Evenings Countdown at 6 o'clock. It's a great way to plug the shows. And at 7 o'clock, it's Trio Seamless. 8 o'clock is Evenings Extra, and 9 o'clock is Sunset. Well, this is what happened last night. Evenings LA was playing in 5. I was in the live chat, and one viewer jumped into the live chat and said, and I think at that point we were all the way out to LA 303. We had gotten applications in and blah, blah, blah. And no. We were back at LA 101. We were just getting started, and a viewer had just become a member. You saw the name pop up. They just became a member. They jumped to the live chat, became a member, great. And then they said, is a four stimulus check available in my state of? And we all said, welcome to the family. A four stimulus check is available in every state. We thought we were good. So then I went through the 3 checks, A, B, and C. And I said, what are the 3 checks, and D, of course. And I said, what are the checks that are in every U.S. state? Well, the person who had just become a member in about 5 minutes in that chat got the answer right. I thought, this is a great viewer. Just became a member, understand there's a check in every U.S. state, and then can repeat back the checks, the 3 checks, what they are. I thought, this is such a great viewer. By about 5:45 Pacific Standard Time, Evenings LA has about 5 more minutes left on the video, and it's about to end. And guess what that viewer says for stimulus? The comment's about to come in, and the video just about ends, and the viewer can't post it because we are then sent over to the next show, the 6 o'clock show. Well, the 6 o'clock show starts, and I think the viewer thought that I would not remember her name because I just saw her over the last hour on Evenings LA. Now we're on Evenings Countdown. Guess what happens? The video starts to play, and she says, I don't qualify for any of the checks. I just made a call, and I don't qualify for any of them. Wait a second. You made a call. You became a member at the top of the 5 o'clock show. In the middle of the 5 o'clock show, you learn what the checks are. By the 6 o'clock show, which was only because you joined late in the middle of the show, within 20 minutes, you made a call and applied for every single check and heard back and had a response in 40 minutes. I said, come on. Now, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You did not do any work, and you're already to say no. Whoa. That viewer got called out by me very strongly. Because a check A, she could have gotten the application in the middle of a video, but she would not get a response back on check A within 10 minutes. She could have gotten applications on check B, but could not have gotten a response back in 10 minutes. And then for check C, for her to say she made 16 phone calls in a 15-minute video, and she got 15 people on the phone, and what do you have, speed dial? Yeah, that's just unbelievable. That is what I don't want to see. And that was just one person. But I got to tell you, it was a hysterical moment and also sad moment that a person would go to such lengths to just sort of manufacture her rejection. And that is what's at issue. Your homework assignment is simple, easy. Go get your second fourth stimulus check and get it applied for by Monday. You can apply for check A if you haven't done it before. Go into the membership newsletter and apply. You can go to check B. You haven't done it before. Go into the membership newsletter and apply. You can do check C. Go into the membership newsletter and learning about the 15 places to phone. You just have to get an application on file with one of them. So if you got heat last night and you can get oil to this night, yeah, it's as simple as that. And then get ready to pass your membership, your homework assignments completed on Monday. If you just become a member at the top of the chat. Pin comment, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you become a member over the weekend, I'll give you an extra day till Tuesday after you get the newsletter on Monday to apply for one check. I'll give you clearance. And I think we're going to start this round again next week, but we're also going to get ready for LA 505. Whoa. Applaud yourself. You did an incredible job this week. I'm so proud of you. For all the viewers who understood the importance of getting that check in view of a looming recession, in view of a potential looming stagflation, which involves both recession and prolonged inflation, you understood the importance of getting those checks. You understood it before there was a bear market this week. You understood it before there was a Wall Street crash. You understood it before the 10-year Treasury note traded at 3% this week. You understood it before the mortgage rates surged to 5% this week. You understood this before we had fourth consecutive month of housing starts down. You understood that as we await that CPI number on Wednesday to tell us how bad inflation still is. You understood all this because a forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Become a member and get that forced stimulus check that's in every U.S. state. And then join me next on Evenings LA at 5 o'clock, Evenings Countdown at 6, Street and Stimulus at 7, and Evenings Extra at 8, followed by Sunset at 9. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, happy Mother's Day to all of you. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.